One time, I was talking to two girls, and they just both happened to be witches at the time. I was real curious about what they were up to. Anyways, I had them both on the phone at the same time. Well, the first time I had the girl on the phone, the one witch, she, a storm formed over me, okay? And then a tornado landed in the city north of me while I was on the phone with her. So it was God warning me about this chick. Okay. Well, it gets crazier, okay? So God was warning me. I was like, all right, I get it. She's dangerous, whatever. But I didn't really understand how dangerous. So I still was curious, even though God was warning me about this chick. So I talked to her a little bit more. Now she was doing metaphysics. Now, this metaphysics thing, she had me doing, alright, so basically, it was like doing a motion, and like doing a physical motion, and saying something at the same time. Now, I knew that she was trying to make me a contract with my soul. And how I figured that out was, she wanted me to say my name a bunch of times while doing a physical action, and then until something breaks or whatever it's called, and then say her name a bunch of times until it breaks, and then what I wanted to happen until it breaks, right? So I thought this is a contract from my soul, and I prayed to God about it. I said, God, don't let anything happen to me. I think she's trying to do a contract for my soul. And she said she could fix my anxiety at the time. And I was really curious because it was really bad. So I was like, you know what? Let's just see what happens, right? I'm gonna go through the motions, but I'm gonna pray to God about it, just in case, so He protects me, right? So I do the first prayer for the first thing, and I do the first action, whatever she told me to do. And then she slowed my brain down. Like my words were half speed. And I'm like, oh, this isn't good. This isn't good. And that lasted all night, okay? And then the next day, she sped my words up faster than I had been in the last 10 years. So I was talking faster than I had in the last 10 years. So I was like, oh, this is not good. But you know what she couldn't fix? She couldn't fix my anxiety, which, all right, so that's where the contract didn't get finished, because that's what she promised me, was she's going to fix my anxiety. So, meanwhile, God was like, she's like, oh, there's weird things happening at my place and whatever. So she didn't talk to me no more after that, because I said, I started feeling really weird and like all this stuff. And like, I freaked out. And then, because I freaked out, she was already freaked out. And she never talked to me again after that. But let me tell you what happened in between that. So I get these two witches on the phone. I had two phones at the time, right? So they're talking naughty to each other, right? And I'm like, oh, this isn't good. This isn't good. This isn't good. This isn't good. Like the way they were talking to each other, And God didn't like it, because He sent a lightning bolt down the next street over while these two girls were talking, and the lightning bolt was so loud that it caused all the cars' alarms to go off. In the neighborhood. Well, not in the neighborhood, but in the next street over. And I never had a lightning bolt do all that before, until I had these two girls on the phone talking nasty to each other. And I was like, all right, well, God's not happy about this at all. So there was that. And it was a very interesting experience. He wasn't happy, so it is what it is, right? Right? No big deal. No big deal. But I went through the experience. It happened. Get some.